Welcome to Five Keys to Thrive, the TV show on Women Thrive TV. This is where we sit down with incredible women from all around the world, sharing the most powerful lessons from their lives that shaped their success in business and life. These aren't just success tips. These are the life lessons that they have gone through themselves and now here to share as a testimony. I'm excited to share these 25-minute episodes with our guests because this is where you will get to learn some real life practical tips, skills, and strategies in how to succeed and thrive not only in business but life. My name is Raimonda Jan and I will be your host for this series of 5 Keys to Thrive on Women Thrive TV.
Hello and welcome to 5 Keys to Thrive. Today we're covering the 5 keys to becoming an authority and a leading voice in business. And my lovely guest today is Michelle Watson. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Where are you joining from?
Hello, Raimonda. I am absolutely great. And I'm joining from the sunny sides of Essex today in England.
Amazing. I am looking forward to this conversation because you know how passionate I am about this particular topic, and I know there's going to be a juicy conversation with yourself. Are you excited?
I am. I'm always excited to jump on a call with you. It's fun.
We're going to have a great time. So for all of you listening today, make sure you tap into this episode as we are talking about how to become a leading authority and a voice in business. So my guest today, lovely Michelle Watson, is a multi-award winning international speaker, business and book mentor with a mission to empower women worldwide. She specializes in guiding women from conception to realization of their business ideas through her pioneering business incubation process. And she is a published author of Iconic Woman book and also a book coach for others. And of course, she's been a speaker, an award-winning speaker on the Women Thrive stage. She was a Speaker of the Year in 2025, as well as covered feature or cover girl for October 24 issue. And I love this issue and just the powerful story that Michelle shares and all the overcomings of her own challenges and struggles, which is really a testimony of sometimes life isn't going to go your way. Sometimes life is going to present you with challenges, but yet you can still rise. And of course, you're doing incredible work, mentoring so many people around in the UK and beyond. And I think it's really worthwhile speaking on the subject that we're speaking about today.
No, it is definitely an important subject and a necessary one. Because it's not just about starting, it's about being able to, I guess, keep the journey going and remain being sustainable in business. And I think it makes a massive difference to the outcome of what you have.
So you achieved a lot of success in your business and you have multiple businesses as well, as Shell mentioned. How do you think building your authority and building your voice has really impacted what you do today?
Yeah, because I think it really impacts based on the why, the purpose behind it. Because as a business owner, like we know we're going to have days where we don't want to talk to people. We're going to have days where we don't want to turn up. We don't want to show up. And it's just about being real or being true to what it is that you've started. Because I believe that if you're doing it just solely for the money, it won't be sustainable. Obviously, the money is a part of what comes, right? It's like a result, it's cause and effect, right? So there's by you doing the work or you serving, I always would love to look at it from a place of service. By you serving, the money will come. But if you're doing it with just the money focus, I do believe that it won't always be sustainable. Because the moment when the money's not there, you won't have the drive to push. And there will be stages where things crumble and you're going to have to pull yourself back up. And it's about not painting this picture that every day is a great day in business, because it's not. We know it's not. And we have to keep it real with that. And I believe this topic that we're talking about is what has really helped me to stay in that position, being true to myself, being real and showing up as an authoritative figure in my industry has kept me during the difficult times. And I think that's very crucial to anybody that's starting out in business or even scaling their business.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't see themselves as an authority or as a leader I think it's just so important to also speak into that as we go through today's episode. Now, today we'll be talking about the 5 keys, which is really essentially the main lessons that you've learned from your own experience in business and becoming an authority and why that really matters. So let's dive right in and we'll have a juicy conversation and lots of incredible tips for our audience today.
Definitely. The first one for me, and it's not going to be no surprise to you, Raimonda, is about authenticity. And I think I just touched on it briefly about being real, being relatable, and being remembered. And I really believe that is important because authority isn't built on pretending. It's built on being your favorite word, unapologetically you, right? And I believe in today's society, people follow those voices. That's the voice that's making a difference because they know they can trust. I can't tell when last I've mentored somebody that's asked me for my PhD or my doctorate. They want to know that you can get them from where they are to where they desire to be. And they want somebody that's going to keep it real with them on the journey. They want somebody that's able to relate with their journey. And so, no, I don't come out and paint a picture that of what's not there. Like, oh, it's always fun and games or it's always rosy, as well as sharing the great moments. Be open to share the difficult moments as well, because that's also a learning ground for them. And I do believe that that is very crucial to being a leading voice, sustaining that leading voice and being that authoritative figure. It's about the audience or your following realizing that yes, you get challenges as well, but you then have the tools to navigate you through that path. And so being real and being authentic is just, it's me. You either like me or you don't like me. It's like Marmite. You love it or you hate it. But I think what helped me was coming to the realization that I'm not called to serve everyone. I'm not called to serve everyone. I'm not going to be the right fit for everyone, and everyone is not going to be the right fit for me. And when you recognize that as a business owner or an entrepreneur or a leader, a change maker, I believe it makes a world of difference to how you show up and whether you're going to become somebody that is a loyal liar or a loyal change maker.
No. Yeah, I see people wearing a mask and trying to be someone they're not or live up to their expectations. And that's when we really dilute the true version of ourselves. And true leaders don't need to do that. They don't need to hide behind a mask or a curtain. They just show up and actually unapologetic because they walk the walk and now they can, or they can now show what the results they can bring in. Amazing. I think you definitely stand for that, Michelle, and it's been amazing to see you just show up in that light as well.
Thank you so much.
Number two,
audience. And you'll notice that I'm going down some A's, so it's about authenticity. Then your audience, know the people that you serve, right? I always say you can't lead if you have no one following you. So that's the first thing. And you can't be a leading voice if you're speaking to everyone. Again, you're not called to serve everyone. And I believe true authority comes when you understand exactly who you're called to impact and what problem you're solving for them, recognizing what is their needs, desires, and pain points, and recognizing that, okay, this is their area of pain. This is where they want to get to, and seeing yourself as the solution, the person that bridges the gap. But in order for you to stand as an authority in that position, if you don't know who your audience is, if you don't know, the dynamics about them, then how are you going to serve them? Because then what's going to happen is you try to put things out there for everyone and it doesn't grab anything. It doesn't hold on to anything because it's so generic. And so it's not niche to the point where somebody will be able to say, she's speaking to me or he is speaking to me. This is the person that is right for my message, right for what it is that I want to put out. And I believe having a clear idea of this, having clarity around who your audience is, will enable you to show up and serve them in the best way possible.
Yeah. And it makes it easier job. What I find when you get clear about who you're speaking to, then the messaging becomes much easier. So when we're not very clear about it, that's when it's like, I'm speaking, but I'm not sure where this is headed. So it changes the game.
No, 100% it does. And I think when I started out in business, that's what I did. Because and this is a thing, right? When we're starting out in business, and if you've dumped everything to get in the beautiful website and getting everything set up, and you've spent all of that money and you're not seeing any money coming back in, you start to panic. And then before you know it, your product changed from something that was created for a coach or a mentor to it being for everyone, because you're trying to get money in. So having a clear understanding of who your ideal avatar is and keeping your message to that, even when it becomes challenging, I think it's crucial. It's important.
Yeah, that's how you build your leading voice. Amazing. Number 3.
Number 3, having authority assets. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean packaging your expertise. One of the ways that I do this is with writing, helping people to write their books and really get their content out there into the world whilst leaving a legacy behind. So it could be books, signature talks, frameworks. You know me, I love a framework. Having your framework, something that you can even trademark. Maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's media features, right? And these are the assets that position you as a go-to expert in your field. And it helps to build tangible proof of the fact that you know what it is that you're talking about. What helped me from the get-go was writing my first book. And because I didn't believe that people needed my information, and I didn't think people needed my message. But writing that book and putting the challenges that I went through and how I was able to overcome them is what started me out on my journey. So having those different things that people could really look at and say, okay, this person knows what they're talking about, because there's so many that have started business and they're the best kept secret. You've not started your business to be the best kept secret. And I always say, I didn't start this to be a once upon a lifetime story. I don't want to be a once upon a lifetime story. And so if you want your business to have that leading voice, then there has to be something around there in regards to sustainability and leaving a legacy and making a lasting impact. So what are you creating to make that lasting impact?
Yeah, definitely. It's so powerful. It's like, oh, this is good. This is authority leading assets. It's so important. As you know, I love the cover of the magazine. And just before we came on, you mentioned somebody saw you in one of the programs that you're leading. And she said, I know you from somewhere. And then you worked it out that it was from the magazine cover, right?
Yeah. So the magazine went to places I've never been. And that's the beauty of a book. That's the beauty of the things that you're creating. Don't limit it, because it will go into hands and into avenues. And the digital world is so massive right now. So utilize it, create things, and don't think, oh, nobody's good. And you know what? You know what used to get me, Raimonda? I used to be so concerned about following on social media. I used to be so concerned about it, to the point where I used to think, okay, if somebody doesn't like my post or somebody doesn't follow, it's a massive issue. And what I've come to realize is there's so many people that read what you do, follow what you do, and they don't necessarily like or comment, right? And so sometimes I'll go into spaces and somebody will say, oh my God, what you're doing is so phenomenal. Like what you've been sharing is so inspiring. Keep doing it. And I'm thinking, I've never seen you like my post before or comments on my post, but you've seen it and it's made a difference. And you're now saying you want to attend my events. When I'm doing my events, please let me know. And so I'm saying that to say, be mindful of what you're giving your focus and your attention to, because a lot of people are getting discouraged because they're not getting the likings or the followings that they desire to have. And because that they pack up shop, or somebody's not bought it the first moment that you put it out, nobody's bought it, you pack up shop. No, keep pushing, keep going. And I think it will make a massive difference.
Yeah.
And that leads to the next point. I don't know if you wanted me to go to.
Let's go. Let's go into it.
It's about amplification. Be seen, be heard, be known, right? Becoming a leading voice. We have to remember, when we're saying we're not just becoming a voice, becoming a leading voice. It requires strategic visibility. It requires leveraging stages. For me personally, one of the things I've not leveraged a lot of have been social media, and it's something that I've now had to pay attention to. And and what kind of happened is I got into the space of doing storytelling, speaking, going on stages, and ended up being in a circle where I was known And people, I guess I do. And so it came to a point where I didn't even have to market at one point because the work was just coming in. But we all know that word of mouth, a business cannot be sustained on just word of mouth or referrals. Yes, it's a massive gap filler, but that doesn't just sustain it. So what are you doing to be seen, to be heard, and to be known? And sometimes it's just about amplifying your message. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in that position of a high following every single day, but does your message stick? When you speak, can somebody get a hook or something transformational from your talk? One thing that I've known about you, Raimonda, or the moment I hear that word, you come to mind without even trying to think about you. The moment I hear the word unapologetic, I think automatically about you. And so what is it that stands out for you? You were sharing before that you were talking about a story that I shared about my voice and me being timid about allowing, I guess, my dialect or my Jamaican dialect to come out because I thought that was a barrier. And so it's being able to share things that makes a difference, leaves an impact, and that will automatically amplify your voice. I've been now dubbed, as of last month, the queen of one-liners. Especially even in my church, the queen of one-liners. So there's something that I've said or continue to do that is making me stand out for that. So what are you saying? When you're posting, are you just posting? When you're going on social media, are you just going on for the laugh of it? Sometimes I don't go on as often enough, but I make sure that when I do go and I'm going to say something, that it's something that's making a difference. So amplify your voice, do storytelling. Use your voice, right? Your authentic voice. Don't try to be anybody else.
Yeah.
Because it's already taken.
That made me really think. So many people focus on, I got to trademark this. You are the trademark.
You are the trademark.
Take something and make it yours. Like you say, that word doesn't slip by your mind without me coming to mind. And I haven't trademarked it. It's just a program. It's something that I passionately spoken about. That's what happens when you start to own your message, own your lane, and then amplify into the world, become known for it because you've spoken about it often enough and people just know. Now they just know you. Yeah. And once someone learns something about you or get to know you, they can't unlearn it. You made an impact, you made an imprint, and now it's your lane. You own it. And it's incredibly powerful to become a leading voice.
100%.
People hate it or love it, but you will be known.
You're known for it. You're known for it. Like when you think about all the greats, you think about the Les Browns, you think about all of these great speakers. If I think about falling, about look up, because once I look up, I'll get up. And I think Les Brown, you know what I'm saying? You think about all these different people. Jim Rohn, you don't have to be great to start, but you do need to take a step in order to achieve your greatness. There's themes that you will hear. And some of these people, some are gone, some are not even with us anymore. Mm-hmm. The Napoleon Hills, all these people, but there was a stamp that they left, something that you could draw on and become a ripple effect. And so what is your ripple? Yeah. What is your ripple that you're dropping into the ocean that's going to become a ripple effect?
Amazing. Amplify that. All right, next up.
The next one is have an authority mindset.
Ooh.
Have an authority mindset. It's the only thing that's going to keep you in alignment with that authority. We can't be saying, I guess the greatest example I could bring to it is you can't say you want to be a lion, but you have a cat mindset. Right? You can't, because a lion has to go out and fight big things and become like a prey. What I'm saying, the lion has, right? And so what we are now thinking about, we're not thinking about the cat that's just going to be lying around and meow and drinking milk. And I'm not saying that in a negative way in the sense, because I had to grow from that. Yeah. I had to grow from the limited, and it still comes. I'm not here to say to you that I don't get moments that I'm about to go on a stage where my mind doesn't go into, oh, can I really do this? And I think I do need to have that, because that's where I feel like I don't just lean on my own capabilities. I trust that God is going to help me to really unleash what's within me, right? before you see yourself before you see others as a leader, you have to also see yourself as a leader.
Mm.
If you want other people to see you as a leader, then you need to see yourself as a leader. And it's weird that we want people to see us in a way that we don't yet see ourselves. Or we're not even trying to work at seeing ourselves differently. And so, no, I'm not saying that you have to see yourself in that way before you start taking the step. That's not what I'm saying, because I definitely did not see myself in that way. I started taking the steps. And as I take the step, I had to work on myself.
Yeah.
I came from an abusive marriage, right? Attempted suicide, all of these things. Do you know the amount of negative things I was telling myself? I'm going onto stages to speak. When I'm writing my first book, I'm like, who is going to read it? Nobody knows me. Who's going to want to learn from me? I had inner ridicule going on. And to be honest, that's the greatest ridicule. It's not the ridicule that man gives. It's what we tell ourselves. And so what is that inner chatter? What is the inner conversation that we're having with ourselves? And when the negativity comes, do we just accept it and hug it and embrace it? Or do we reject it and learn the tools or the mechanisms that we need to deal with those moments when it comes? That's what makes a great leader. Something that is always working to grow, knowing our worth, owning our expertise, and showing up consistently as a solution to our audience's needs. And it's not that we're going to get it right all the time. I'm not here to say that at all. We don't get it right all the time. We make the mistakes and then we learn from the mistakes that we make. But it's about allowing yourself to be true to that and say, okay, I fell here. I end with this. I was making a constant mistake of, I guess, was it hiring the wrong people? For the past maybe a year and a half, I kept falling in this place of having the wrong tech people on board. That it just wasn't working. And I stopped and I thought, asked myself the question, why did that keep happening? Or why has that kept happening? And it kept happening because I had the set thing in my mind of how I wanted something to be. I never ever once took the time to really sit down with someone for them to tell me the pros, the cons, what would work, sometimes we just see something and we want to run with it. This is how we want it. This is what we want to happen. This is how it needs to be. And it makes all the sense in my mind. I'm not a tech expert. It makes all of the right sense in my mind. But until a tech expert sits me down and says, Michelle, that's going to work. That's not going to work. And then I can say, okay, could we meet in the middle? Right? And I was just giving out these tasks and forgetting that not everybody is genuine and not everybody is going to be real and say to you, that's not going to work. They're just happy to get paid.
Yeah.
It's the truth. And so I realized that at some point I forgot that everybody is not me. Everybody's not going to serve from a place of my client result is important. Everybody's going to serve from a place of it's not just about the money, but it's about the service that I provide. And I had to pull myself back into that and say, okay, what's the lessons that I need to learn here? Now I can pass that lesson on. But I can't keep fooling myself and and say that I have it all together. So address our mindset, because it will either limit you or propel you.
Hugely. It's a big part of us seeing the vision, executing the vision, and also creating yourself as a personal brand, as an authority, as a leader in your community. And I love that you just so candidly shared a mistake you've been making over and over, because that's what leaders do. Leaders own their mistakes. They take accountability for their actions, and they're not afraid to talk about it and use as an example to then teach something to others. And that's exactly what you just showed. And that just tells me you're a leader because you're not afraid to take accountability. And a lot of people are not ready to face their truth.
It's true. That's another A, by the way. I'll jot that down, accountability. Yeah, but it's so true. I think until you accept and acknowledge something, you can't then, I guess, amplify it, right? You can't then build on it. You can't then, but you firstly have to accept, okay, this is where I'm going wrong. Acknowledge that, own it, and then say, okay, what can I now do about it? And that's the wisdom there. And then the application of wisdom, it's one point, get one thing, having information, but how are you acting upon that information? Okay, great. I got it wrong. Okay, what's next? Can't stay there. Can't remain there forever. I got it wrong. It happens. What can I now do to fix that? And I think that's what we need to do. It's all trial and error, right?
Mm.
And that's why I don't call it failure. I call it life lessons. Because in every failure, there's a lesson. And so I want to look at it from the point of its life lessons. Okay, Michelle, what did I learn from that? How can I spin it around? How can I make so we don't focus just solely on the problem? Because that's how you become a leader. You're solution focused. If you're not solution focused, then how are you going to make a difference to the people out there? Because they're coming to you with their problems, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, 100%. Michelle, this has been great. And I know if we could share a lot of wisdom with our audience, but we do have to wrap up for this particular show. Now, tell me, how do you support others who may be looking for that guidance, mentoring, and support?
Great. So 3 things that I do. One is I help entrepreneurs, change makers, people that have a powerful story and want to get it out there into the world. So I help them to write and craft their book, not just any book, but a leading book. And so really, it's all about getting your story, your content into a book that sells, positions you as an authority, and something that you can use as a marketing tool for your business. I also help people around storytelling. Anybody that knows me knows that I love storytelling. I talk a lot about amplifying your voice, amplifying your story, and using it to make a difference. You can make a difference and you can make money. Your story can be monetized. 100%. So that's another thing that I do. And lastly, I help individuals that have an idea. They want to flesh it out. They want to package it and actually put it into something that can make a difference. This is where the framework comes in. This is where how you present it comes in. And so those are the 3 things that I really do to help individuals stand as an authority or an expert in their industry.
Yeah, and build a successful business as a result.
Definitely. 100%.
Amazing. How do people connect with you?
So they can find me on Instagram or on LinkedIn or Facebook at I am Michelle Watson. And also they can find me on my website, michellewatson.biz.
That is amazing. Michelle, you're a legend. I loved having had the opportunity to have you in our community and sharing your wisdom with our audience. And of course, not only been in the magazine, on our podcast, and now on 5 Keys to Thrive. I'm really looking forward to sharing this episode because I know it's going to help a lot of people looking to build their authority in the business.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, absolutely loved my time on Thrive Summit. So ladies, anybody that's listening, if you're looking for a platform to really get you out there, like I've built a community from being on Thrive Summit. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, Michelle. I look forward to doing something with you again in the speaking world and supporting our speakers in our community with the wonderful, wonderful insights that you're sharing. And to all of our listeners, we come to an end of season 1. I can't believe it. I hope we have had great fun. I hope you have drawn a lot of inspiration, knowledge from the 5 Keys to Thrive TV show on Women Thrive TV. And tap in. If you haven't already tapped into the previous episodes, make sure you do that. Season 2 will be coming out in a few months' time, maybe after I've delivered a beautiful little baby into this world, and we will be back. But for now, this season has to close, and we're going to have our Women Thrive podcast kicking in the beginning of September. So look out for that. And Michelle, thank you so much for being here. I am sure this has been really helpful for a lot of our listeners today.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it with your audience today or someone particularly that you think would benefit from this particular conversation. And we look forward to seeing you on another show. Take care for now. Bye.
Thank you for tapping into 5 Keys to Thrive on Women Thrive TV. If you have enjoyed this episode, do make sure you like, subscribe, and follow our channel for more incredible episodes with our guests. Make sure that you leave a comment below. Let us know what resonated with you today in this episode. And I look forward to bringing more amazing guests and expert speakers on 5 Keys to Thrive TV.